Most people do not realize this, but your experience of time isn't fixed. You can actually learn to control it with your mind. What if seconds and minutes are just illusions constructed by your brain and shaped entirely by attention and awareness? And what if you could bend it? Not metaphorically, not spiritually, but literally slow down your experience of time using nothing but your mind. And I'm going to show you how to do it easily. When I do, you owe me a like and a subscribe. Don't believe me? Let's go. You felt it before. In flow states, time disappears. In moments of pure presence, a single second can feel expansive. Even in dreams, time bends and stretches. Your experience of time is elastic, but it doesn't seem to be in your control, but there is a way to do it. Many people only experience time dilation during times of high stress situations, very emotional situations, like near car accidents, when adrenaline floods the system and the brain processes information at extraordinary speeds. But here's what most people miss. We can induce the same time expansion effect without putting ourselves in danger. We don't need crisis or trauma. You don't need to flip your car to get this effect. This isn't fantasy. This is neurology, and you can trigger it at will. The techniques I'm about to show you involve intentional movement and heightened awareness. By the end of this video, you will understand how to expand your perception of time whenever you want. But first, welcome to the Maverick Mind. My name is Len Cook. I'm a former soldier turned seeker, and this channel is where ancient wisdom meets cutting-edge neuroscience. It's about reclaiming your mind, your focus, and your power. I also want to give a special thanks to our co-creators you'll see scrolling below. They're part of our Patreon program. They're not just supporters, they're actually a part of this journey. And if that resonates with you, please consider joining. Details are in the description, and also make sure to hit the like and subscribe and write a comment of a time that you've had an experience like this. Going on, your brain doesn't track time with a clock. It measures it through the density of information it processes. The more data you take in, the more time your mind believes has passed. Now, I've said this in other videos, but keep in mind of the narrow slit of perception of reality that we experience. Your body, your subconscious, has taken in about 11 million bits of information at any one time. But your conscious mind is only able to process 40 to 50 bits of information at a time. But what if there's a way to make it 60 or 80 or 100 bits of information? Imagine just a little bit more information, if not a lot more, how much more you'd perceive of reality. So think of it this way. When you're engaged, present, and absorbing rich sensory information, your mind creates a high-definition recording of your experience. When you play that recording back later in your head, it seems to stretch longer than the actual time that passed. You literally feed your nervous system more data. Even your internal clock, controlled by brain regions like the basal ganglia and cerebellum, begin to stretch its rhythm in response to rich, deliberate input. So slowing down doesn't dull you, it awakens you. It makes time feel longer because your mind is absorbing more life per second. And once you know how time really works, you start noticing how often it controls you. Deadlines, panic, reactivity, time controls you. You're just reacting to everything. But what if you flipped it? What if you controlled time and your perception of time? Here's the breakthrough that changed everything for me. What we're really talking about isn't a trick or a hack, not really. This is a fundamental shift in how we exist in our bodies and our minds. Most of us have been trained to move through life at a maximum efficiency to get things done. It's not about living in the moment, it's about living in the future and worrying about the past. And this isn't just about mindfulness, even though there is an element to that. This conditioning has left us numb to the richness of each moment, and that numbness accelerates our experience of time. Now, what I'm about to show you might seem almost too simple. It's not flashy, it doesn't require special equipment, but make no mistake, this practice has been used by martial artists, meditators, and elite performers for centuries. And here's the truth most people miss. It takes time to control time, as ironic as that sounds. This isn't something you try once or twice and suddenly become a time bender. It's a gradual recalibration of your nervous system. The more you practice, the stronger the effect becomes. So, this is the practice, and it's very easy. Find a quiet space, but not necessary. Stand or sit, and move slowly, as if you're underwater. Place your foot on the ground. Feel the sensation of the carpet or the floor underneath you. Feel the wind, the breeze and air, the temperature shift. This isn't just about being mindful of the moment. It's a moving experience and slowing everything down so that you are soaking in more of that information and training your brain. And the more you do this, the more that when you go back to normal, you will actually retain the ability to continue to take in more information and thus slow your perception of time down. Moving slowly and intentionally gives your mind something to focus on, so your brain doesn't have to fight you for stimulation. It works with it. You're engaging your subconscious with what it's already doing, tracking nuance, motion, and space, and teaching your conscious mind to say, I want more of this information. I don't want to just ignore all of these different things. I want to be able to soak it in more all the time. And that takes practice. Your brain has been conditioned for speed and efficiency. You've spent years training it to skip details and rush through moments. Rewiring that pattern doesn't happen overnight. You're not training your brain to take in more information. You're training your brain to take more information per moment. You're increasing the frame rate of your awareness. When you return to moving at normal speed, everything around you seems to slow down because you've expanded your consciousness into high definition. Time bends to the fidelity of your new perception. It gives you space to pause, space to make better decisions, to respond rather than to react, and act with clarity when others are scrambling. This is why masters of Tai Chi seem to float through time. Their movements aren't slow just to look graceful. They're designed to deepen presence, enhance spatial awareness, and shift consciousness into a slower stream of time. It's embodied neural training disguised as ancient art. If you want to go deeper into this practice, Tai Chi is an incredible way to go to learn much more, but it's not required for the effect that I'm talking about. You can train this shift in everyday life, making tea, brushing your teeth, walking from one room to another. Every moment becomes a training ground when you add presence. The key, pay attention to the things you usually ignore. The more awareness you pour in, the more your brain expands to hold that detail. And the more detail you process, the slower time appears to move. So imagine the advantage this gives you in life. In a conversation, you notice things others miss. In decision-making, you gain space to respond instead of react. In creativity, you expand the canvas of a single second. In stress, you stop time from running over you. And in a crisis, when others are overloaded with sensory input, you stay calm. Your brain doesn't panic. It's trained for this. It moves with clarity, confidence, and precision. This doesn't make you more aware, it makes you more capable. What kind of moments in your life have you felt that slowed time down? Was it a car accident, a breakup, a miracle? Drop in the comments and let everyone share it. I read everyone and comment to everyone. And here's something to think about. If you can slow time by slowing down, what happens if you stop? How much could that expand your perception altogether? Something to think about. That stillness isn't just peace, it's power. And while every moment in your life is not one you want to experience in full vividness, time is the only currency that we truly have. We'll explore what lives in that still point and what happens beyond it in an upcoming episode. And if I proved my point today and you learned anything or at least gave you a new perception, you owe me that like and subscribe. See you on the other side. Take care and thank you.